Now, while we're talking about homeless services in Portland, we have an update on Multnomah County's homeless services budget gap. Last month, Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson sounded the alarm, saying the shortfall was north of $100 million, meaning cuts are very likely coming to homeless programs, including shelters and outreach work. Now, we've recently learned the gap is likely closer to $70 million, as long as some money is withheld from a sort of rainy day fund. But it's still a lot of money. Chair Vega Peterson asked neighboring counties, the state, and regional government Metro for tens of millions to help fill the gap. And let's just say her request was not met with open arms. Quite frankly, it came as a shock to state and regional leaders. Here's what the governor told us this week during a taping for an upcoming episode of KGW's Straight Talk.
I was frustrated. It was a premature ask. So what I have done since then is staff from the county, the city, and the state have sat down, and we're looking at everybody's numbers and say, what do you have? What are we funding now? Who can contribute what? I don't think that's the actual right number, but we're going to have a better number. And then we're going to say, what can everybody do to make sure we can maintain what we've built and help people right now, regardless of what our budgetary challenges are. I am not committing to any dollar until I know exactly what it's going to go for and what the county's real budgetary situation is.
Now, we had Metro's President Lynn Peterson live on the story shortly after that request from the county chair, and she called it a, quote, surprise request. Multnomah County leaders blame the shortfall mostly on Metro forecasting less money from the Supportive Housing Services Tax, or SHS dollars. That's money meant to help address the homeless crisis. Now, for those who are unaware, that tax applies to Multnomah, Clackamas, and Washington County residents. It's a 1% tax on income above $125,000 for individuals and income above $200,000 for couples filing jointly. But we've now learned that Metro has $31 million set aside for administrative costs that they haven't used. Those at Metro tell me they're able to spend that money on a one-time basis to help address budget shortfalls across the region. Now, conversations about how to do that are ongoing. But I want to add that roughly $31 million is roughly the exact amount Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson was asking Metro for last month. Coincidence? I think not. And in somewhat of a turn of events last week, Multnomah County commissioners voted unanimously to send some of whatever Metro gives them, $15 million has been tossed around, to the city of Portland to help them fight homelessness instead of using those dollars towards filling the county's budget gap. Okay, so why? Well, it's a move that sure could help the crisis in Portland, but more importantly, in the county commissioner's eyes, it acts as a symbol of their dedication to working with the city. You know, it really amazes me that after all this time, the county is still trying so hard to show they are working in partnership with the city on homelessness. You know, if I had $1 for every time they said those words, maybe it would pay for this multi-million-dollar investment. But I digress. This whole idea came from newly elected County Commissioner Shannon Singleton.
I crafted this resolution today to reaffirm our commitment to our partnerships with local jurisdictions. It simply directs money we anticipate receiving from Metro to the city of Portland.
We are in a crisis together and must approach this crisis in coordination and cooperation. It is my hope that this vote is a demonstration of Multnomah County Commission's commitment to working together.
I agree, this is a strong signal. Some people could interpret it as somehow this is taking something away from the county. I very much view it as additive.
Resetting the relationships with the city of Portland had been a very primary goal of mine since coming into this office as chair.
Now, just to be clear, Multnomah County doesn't have the authority to say where Metro money goes. This is not a done deal just yet. Metro Council still needs to vote on how much of their reserve money they will give to Multnomah County, who will then give it to the city of Portland. That vote is not yet scheduled. Aren't all these layers of government so much fun? Of course, Multnomah County still has its own budget deficit to deal with, and we'll be following that months-long process each step of the way. Commissioners will have to approve a final budget by the second week of June.